All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane's studio.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. Remind you before we get to our guy, Dr. Stephen Etheredge, it is always a great time to go for dose. Holiday season right now. Getting a little extra time off, watching a little football, watching some bowl games, feed up. Maybe you're hosting a holiday party and you want to impress the guests that are coming in to your home, to your business. Well, you're always going to impress them if you've got a nice chest full of ice-cold Dos Equis. So now, forever, for always, it is a great time to go for Dos Equis. And as Matt tells you often, they've got a website and everything.
It's a beautiful website.
Just have your ID ready to be able to enter said website.
Yeah, because you can't. If you're not 21, you can't get in that website. You can't look at pictures of beer.
All right, Dr. Stephen Etheredge joins us as he does every single Wednesday. What's up, Doc? How we doing?
Doing great. How about y'all?
Doing great. Doing fantastic. Holiday season. Matt doesn't have a holiday party for my high. He just buys his team hams. Mm-hmm. I'm sure, over at Brock, I'm sure y'all probably have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have ours early. We actually had it last week, so super early.
So he was blown away that
have a Thanksgiving party?
Thanksgiving party.
I'm with you. I thought it was a little early, but I guess they got to squeak it in before everybody else gets
All right,
going.
fair enough. Mm-hmm. All right. I didn't know.
How was it? So where was this party?
It was a good time. We did it over at Court to Table.
Okay. There we go.
It was a good event.
A little cashy.
Shout out to Gordon.
Yeah, they do a big party for the whole group, and then a lot of times the smaller, each individual doc might do something. We're gonna have one probably. We had to move ours to after Christmas for my group because of the bowl being so early. So,
how is the? Did y'all play any pickleball?
We did not. I think some people did.
Okay. How's your? Do you play? Do you dabble?
Very minimally.
I'm sure y'all do some decent amount of business over there from pickleballers.
Pickleball has definitely been a good business, Boomer. No restrictions on age limits and all that.
Yeah,
as a result, we see a fair bit of it for sure.
You guys, people, you don't have to move a lot in pickleball, and then like you said, no age restriction. Like probably some people that hadn't played a sport in 20, 30, 40 years. And all of a sudden, but it's really competitive. So all of a sudden you get into the flow of it and you're like, yeah, I need to chase that ball down.
100%. You're not gonna let it go.
This is game point.
Yeah. No, we've seen our fair share. A lot of soft tissue injuries, in particular, a lot of hamstrings and things, people lunging for the ball, things like that. Maybe.
Yeah. I would say probably like if I'm just like thinking about the movements and having to like burst really quickly, I would think there's a lot of similar injuries to what Daniel Jones received this year or this past week with the Achilles.
That one, yeah, you get a lot of Achilles injuries. Those are never fun injuries. You hate it for a guy like that finally seems to be finding his groove,
How does that? It just happens. Like, is there anything you can do, or is it just like it's got a shelf life and eventually it's going to pop? Because anytime that I've seen one of those, it doesn't look like it's an aggressive planting your foot or it's like just something you've done a million times, and all of a sudden you just land and pop.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I feel like more of them are exactly how you described it. You see some that I feel like maybe kind of fit with what you'd expect. His guy, Aaron Rodgers, with the one that he had. I felt like that one he kind of got mashed up on. If you go back and watch it, foot got kind of stuck, got kind of bent awkwardly. But on the other hand, you'll see a lot of them. I think of Kevin Durant. So I remember he was just kind of moving on the court.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, you'll see these guys look back. I remember watching that play, and he looked behind him because the thing people tell you is they feel like they got kicked. And you're always surprised there's nobody behind you. And I've heard that so many times. Like I thought somebody shot me, kicked me, whatever, and then nothing behind me. But I think, to your question, can you do things? Obviously, stretching, flexibility, doing a lot of things to work on the eccentric lifts, to work on your. But at the end of the day, even then, I think even if you're trying to do everything right, One of the worst explanations that I unfortunately give patients just in general is the sort of just because. People never want to hear that. Hey, we all want to tie cause and effect. That's just natural tendency. But sometimes it's like, yeah, man, it just happens.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this. Unfortunately, we talked about this multiple weeks ago about the same type of injury because forever, I feel like growing up, even playing until like the last 5, 6, 7 years, you never heard of Achilles injuries. I don't know if it was not like this, but all of a sudden, I think we diagnosed it last time. It was probably because of the COVID vaccine, obviously. But this is the thing. It's like, why now? Like, why is it that it's? I've heard the explanation. I think when Aaron got his hurt, it was like, well, your Achilles is like a rubber band, and his is an old rubber band. Now it's going to be an old and repaired rubber band. Like, is it? What is the explanation? Is there one, or is it just like a series of unfortunate events that keeps happening and happening? Because it can't be just coincidence.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to think it is just coincidence. And you're right; it definitely seems like the numbers are going up. I'm not aware of any hard data. I mean, there's a lot of theoretical, at least, out there. I feel like for one, the seasons, the training, everything is getting longer and longer, and there's more that's going into it. Nobody's playing sports for just a short portion of the year anymore. And if you think about that load that occurs over time, so if you're doing more and more, and if you were doing more when you were 12 and more when you were 20 and more when you're 30, eventually, yes, I think sometimes it's just going to give. And I don't know if that's the reason. We've talked some about the different surfaces. We all worry about things like playing more on turf and things like that. Guys are typically bigger, faster, stronger. And if I'm bigger and faster, but my tendon strength has not gone up, that's going to be more force. So it's probably some of all those things. Yeah. I don't know that, but I think that's probably what most of us think is it's a little bit of all the above.
Yeah, that's a good point because we always talk about, or when you talk about concussions, I'm like, yeah, guys are bigger, stronger, faster, but our skulls necessarily aren't any thicker. You're just stronger.
Well, I'll tell you the one I think of, and some of y'all may have seen. It's an older Saturday Night Live clip when they have the Olympics where they allow the steroids. I don't know if y'all have seen this one. And the guy goes to do his clean, and his arms just rip off of him because they're so strong. Like the body. But it's kind of a joke. But there might be a little truth to that. That maybe these guys. And I'm not saying they're using steroids, but I'm just saying that bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, right. For sure. And so that injury for the Colts led to my bud, Phillip Rivers, 44 years old, 44 years young, signing with the Colts. Hadn't played football in 6 years. So that's going to be interesting to see. Make sure my guy's standing upright, and he never really had any injuries. He never missed a game when he was playing. He even played with, I want to say a torn ACL, but he really had no ACL. He tore it in the divisional round. They went in, they kind of cleaned up around it, put a brace on it, and he played in the AFC Championship game. But 44 years young, not playing for 6 years.
That's look, I think I heard y'all saying earlier we're all pulling for him. I mean,
everybody.
As a guy that's a couple years beyond that, I'd love to see him go out there and just tear it up. But I also think how much it hurts me just to play pickleball. The idea of getting attacked by these behemoths out there is scary.
Well, I think that's one thing. It's not just like the age thing because we've seen older. We saw Tom Brady do. We see like Aaron playing right now. I think he just turned 42. Flacco's doing it. It's more so the time off. Right. I mean, even if he was 35 and he had 6 seasons off, your body's calloused at some point. Like that's the point. I think a lot of people miss the point for a lot of positions in training camp. Training camp is about getting better, of course, and learning X's and O's, but really it's about callousing your body. Yeah. Like getting hit a lot and getting used to taking hits and being part of the game.
That's why it's crucial to have an actual training camp and not a spa day.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, LSU. So, like, what if you were the team doctor for the Colts? Like, of course, Phillip's got to pass physicals, and the doctor has to approve him to play the game of tackle football in the National Football League. What are you looking for? Are you keeping a closer eye on something like that?
Probably so. I think anytime anybody has anything they're coming in with, I think as a medical staff, we're going to watch them closer, whether it's an injury the first time we put you back out there after you had, say, an injury, or if there's something we're worried about, or even if you've just been sick. The guys that are coming off of the flu or a stomach bug or something like that, obviously we're going to watch them a little more closely. I don't know there's a specific thing though, Right. And look, I mean, at LSU, I've never had a 40-year-old, let alone a 44-year-old athlete. They're pretty much, we've had a couple in the upper 20s, and those guys were ancient when you had somebody maybe played, pro ball and baseball or something for a little bit. So, I don't know. There's a specific that I can think of. I think but you are going to watch that guy a little more closely. This I know I would. I'd be, every time he gets hit, is he going to get up? Is he kind of laying on the turf a little bit longer? And things like that.
God, he's going to be so sore.
I mean,
So sore.
If us playing in that flag football game is any indication, because you and I couldn't move for about 6 days.
That's right.
We'll see.
We were moving, though.
We were, slow, very slow. Another quarterback injury, Justin Herbert. I believe he fractured metacarpal, I believe
Sounds
is
right,
what
yep.
he has. But it was on his non-throwing hand, but, man, he kept checking it all night long. He had a pad on it. It was taped up. He was trying to take snaps under center. At one point, he's handing it off to the right. He takes the football, holds it with his right hand, and just kind of sticks it out and turns his hand to hand it off to the running back. He had surgery, I believe, like the day after, so he was a week out of surgery. When you have something like that, even though it's your non-throwing hand, like, do you have any grip strength, anything in your hand?
It's going to be minimal. That close after surgery, everybody's going to obviously be a little bit different. It's going to be a little different on where the injury was, things of that sort. The metacarpals, those are the long bones in the hand, so the bone that kind of runs from the wrist down to the finger. You have one that lines up with each finger. So pretty common injuries. We see a lot of these get broken and just across all sports. And obviously, I think it does depend. Like so many of the injuries we talk about, what position are you playing?
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback, is it your throwing hand or your non-throwing hand is a huge difference. Obviously, if you're an offensive lineman, though, those are the guys that you'll see that we've talked about. We wrap them up in some kind of a club, some kind of protected device. But the quarterback, even though it's not his throwing hand, to your point, you still use your other hand. You got to take a snap. You still got to catch the ball. You still got to hand it off. You got to do these things. And so it's going to affect him for sure. And it's definitely going to have some stiffness. You're going to lose a little bit of dexterity. So that's always the question. Can we put you out there safely? Can we protect it? And then are you able to do what you have to do is obviously the second question.
And it's probably going to hurt like hell.
Going to hurt a lot.
There's not a whole lot you can do for having surgery, broken bone, having screws in your hand.
Yeah. There's no way around that one. Even with the padding, every time you're still going to feel it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's maybe slightly different between the college game and the pro game, just from, of course, they're both, everybody's legally an adult and a man, and they can make decisions on their own medically. But like in the NFL, you hear stories about people with painful injuries playing on some pretty high-powered painkillers that don't always make you like clear-minded. Does that ever happen at the college level? Do you allow?
I think
to do that?
Has it happened? I unfortunately have no doubts. I'm sure it has.
Right.
It's not something we typically try to allow. There are medications we will give guys. Typically, we kind of stop at the anti-inflammatory. That's kind of the common way. So, whether it's a Celebrex or a Toradol or things that don't affect, they work well. They work well, but they're not going to affect your mental state. They're not going to affect your reaction time.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel good that you're not going to alter judgment and you're not going to affect any of those things. Do those things still happen? Unfortunately, I'm sure they do, where guys are given things that affect them. Obviously, there's been more scrutiny on that, even at the professional level, so much less so than probably was done even 10 years ago, let alone long ago. You hear stories about guys where they literally, in the NFL, they'd have a bowl with painkillers, just go grab them, and it was, those things aren't happening anymore. But, I think you got to, and you had that discussion with the guy. Even then, I'm sure, even at the NFL level, you say, look, if you really need to play, we might be able to give you something, but I think you want to make sure everybody signs off on that. You never want somebody to feel like they're getting something unsafe and they don't know about it.
Yeah, I had some teammates that Percocets and like things that would make them, they didn't necessarily recall everything they did in the game.
Yeah.
But they went out and had a pretty good game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had a concussion in Denver. Don't really remember the second half, but apparently I played pretty well.
Yeah. Don't want to celebrate it. We're not celebrating
No, I celebrate. I'm just saying, like, oh, I don't remember that play. That was interesting. Doc, we appreciate your time as always. We look forward to it every Wednesday, so thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
All right, we will take a break. We got Kim Mulkey joining us in about 15 minutes from now. Of course, LSU head basketball coach. Stay locked in here. It is OTB live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. That is the website for Central Plumbing, of course, but not only in the central area. We're talking about the entire greater Baton Rouge area. So if you've got an emergency, always remember 24/7, 365 weekend, holiday, game day does not matter. If you've got something that pops up on Christmas, you're hosting and you're like, oh no, I do not have a restroom that is going to work for our guests. Well, no, they'll come and they'll make sure that they get the job done. And no matter what time it is, no matter what day, no matter if it's on that holiday, 225-925-8552, always online at centralplumbing.org.
Yeah, there's probably no worse feeling in the world than having people over at your house, maybe a little party, maybe the family's just coming for the holidays and you go to the toilet You flush it and you hear clunk. That's not a good feeling. The tank's dry. 24/7 emergency service, 365 days a year, 225-925-8555. Call the plumbing experts today. Go see them, centralplumbing.org.
T-Pain, Young Jock. Hey, she snapping.
Snap your fingers, please there. You can do it all by yourself, baby girl. What's your name? Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink. I'm T-Pain. You know me. Convict music, never boy. I know the club goes at 3. What's the chances that you?
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Let's get drunk, forget what we did. I'ma buy you a drink. I'ma take it home with me. I got money in the bank. I be in the great Cadillac. We in the bed like we in the bed like talk to me. I talk back. Let's talk money. I talk that. Quote juice bombs. Oakley shades. Shorty got class. Oh, behave.
All right, welcome back in. OTB, live from the Raising Cane studio.
We gon' have fun. You gon' see. You should get like me. I'm a
What number is our guy PR17 going to wear? Can't wear 17. I mean, Daniel Jones, even though he's hurt, still like he has 17 on the team.
Come up with that. We'd have to look at the roster.
I'm going to assume number 18 is probably taken by a retirement.
Probably 19 as well with Unitas.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And I know they have a 16 on the roster. Riley's 15, so, you know.
They got a 14 too.
17's not
They don't
the best number.
They
so it might be
don't
an
have
upgrade.
they don't have a 3, a 4, a 5. They don't have a 9 or a 10. They don't have a 12.
They kind of have a 5. Richardson's not on the active roster. But
Okay, all right, fair enough. Good call. Good call. They don't have a 16.
That's what it's going to be 16 then. If they don't,
They don't have a 19.
I think
What,
19's
16?
retired.
I thought
It has to
Ashton
be.
Doolin was.
Wait, what was?
Yeah, they do have a 16.
I'm just looking at current roster in numerical order currently at Colts.com. I'm assuming it doesn't like include IR.
No, Doolin 16. He's on IR.
Anywho's,
I'm going to say he's going to wear, let's make a guess from all the numbers I said. Hope you remembered all of them.
I'm gonna say he wears 4.
I don't know.
Nope.
That's not a single
I'll
digit.
say, I don't know
Not a
what.
single digit bod.
I don't know what's available.
I just told you.
Just
Yeah.
fully own it and do 44. Fully own it.
Yeah. That would be great.
It's not
if he
a
did.
Would be
QB
cool.
number, but just do it.
You said 12's available? Andrew Luck didn't get it retired?
Per this, so 9, 10, 12, 16.
He's going 12. Andrew
I
Luck.
think 10 or 12 is
19.
the answer.
Probably 10 or 12, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Alondra. 44 would be fantastic.
I mean, Bear Bachmeier wears 47.
I love Bear Bogmeyer in 47
Like
so much.
BYU, so
You think he could get like a little pass from the NFL to let him do it? 44?
sure. There's no rules anymore.
Is there?
Sure. Why not? We'll see. We'll put our guess in and you know, maybe put $5 on it.
I'm going to go with something crazy. I'm going to go with number 5.
You can't wear 5.
Number 4. I'm going to go with 4.
All right, number 4. I'm going to 12.
It's half of 40.
Okay, I'll go 10 since you went 12.
Alondra?
44.
44. Love it. The All-SEC football team was announced. LSU had 2 players on the first team. Probably not hard to guess, Matthew. Defensive guys, who those first team players were.
If I had to guess, I would say Mansour and Halsey.
And you would be correct, sir. A.J. Halsey, Mansour Delane, first team All-SEC, according to the coaches, which the coaches, I'm a member of the media, but it's still like when we were playing, like if you got on the coaches team, that meant a little bit more.
Well, yeah, it meant a lot more.
You know?
A ton more.
And maybe because I didn't get on the all SEC media and I did the coaches. So
Right.
maybe that's why I say that. But the coaches, I mean, they're watching tape and they're like, even if they didn't play you, they notice you.
Well, I mean, LSU fans can look all the way back to 2003, which who really cares what the AP thinks?
Very fair. Second team, Trades Green.
Yeah, I would have, if I had to make an argument for anybody on offense, I would have, for first team, like I don't know what the tight end landscape was in the rest of the SEC, but I would have said that he would have, I think second team sounds real good, though.
Man, he might be the player that I'm most excited about in this new offense.
Uh-huh.
Because we have seen, don't do that. He did how tall he was. We have seen what Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. Can do with the tight end. The tight end was, I think, the difference maker in the game between LSU and Ole Miss this year. So I'm very excited. Just some of the matchups that I feel like this staff's going to be able to exploit with Trades Green, because it's not going to be vanilla. Like they're going to move him around, motion him around, create a matchup. It's not just going to be the oop-de-oop formation.
That was the only that was like the only go-to play that it seemed like we had that kind of worked a decent amount of times.
The oop-de-oop.
Was the oop-de-oop, which is, it was a joke.
We were joshing around.
We were just
when we were talking about it.
Yeah, we were.
And they ran it
from
a lot.
Yeah.
And it was actually the only productive play, to agree with your point.
But it was like the only thing that they could fall back on, that they had at least some sort of confidence in.
So wild. So if you don't know, it's a formation where they would put four receivers to one side, kind of in a diamond formation, and then they would put Trades on the other side and get your attention to the diamond formation and just throw it up to Trades.
Yep. Even if it was double, like I remember Nussmeier threw one. I think it was against A&M.
It was.
And
the safety was waiting on it.
It was a bad read. Like he shouldn't have thrown that pass.
But he's like,
it was a touchdown.
He's a giant, so I'm just going to throw it over there.
Yeah, it was an awful play by the safety.
Like
there's no reason.
The safety knew it was coming.
Yeah.
That's why he was there. He was looking at it.
Yeah, and you could say great throw all you want, but like, nah, it's just bad defense. Like they shouldn't have thrown that.
Yeah.
Hey, touchdown Tigers.
It was. So very excited for Trades Green in this offense. I mean, what he did this year in this offense, pretty special considering what it was. So he is the player certainly to pay attention to throughout this process of forming this offense with the current coaches they now have with the current talent. Third team All-SEC, Harold Perkins, Damian Ramos, and Grant Chadwick. Look, we're never going to spend a lot of time talking punters here on the show. Now, I was a Core 4 war daddy. Flynn doesn't know anything about that outside of holding for a field goal or extra point,
Being a war daddy, 4-year starter, bud.
But, I mean, he was really good. I mean, he flipped the field multiple times for LSU, and it obviously was a place that they struggled mightily the last couple of years. So getting Chadwick over in the portal, that was a good move. He gets rewarded with third-team All-SEC. And we mentioned earlier, Harold Perkins is playing in the East-West Shrine Bowl.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was asking you that during the break. It seems like Harold Perkins would be a Senior Bowl type of guy.
Yeah, I am surprised by that as well. He's obviously a big name, been talked about for multiple years. So we'll see. We'll see what the plan is, too, for him. Like, what position is he going to play?
Not a lot of stars in the NFL.
Not a lot.
Because it's not a position.
There's some nickel Sams, though, which is kind of what he played, if you don't want to call it a star.
Yeah, nickel's a DB, though.
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
That's the definition of nickel. It's 5 DBs.
Well, nickel Sam is a position. You have to admit that. Like, there's linebackers that played even in the NFL.
It's called nickel Sam as for an identification purpose.
Right, but an actual...
Because there's always a Will Mike Sam. So if it's a DB, it's a nickel Sam.
Right, but
if
been linebackers...
If it's dime personnel, then it's a nickel Will.
But there's been linebackers that have
Will.
played that, though, and teams treat it like true nickel. Yeah, you can't shake your head. No, I've been in... I played too. It's how we identified it in multiple teams I was on. They did play football outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin, sir.
I played on way more teams than you did.
That's also fair. Shout out to Burke,
you do call it nickel Sam.
Yeah.
But it's not. If it's a linebacker, it's a linebacker. It's base defense.
90% of the time you are right, but we did play teams that would have an super athletic linebacker that would play that position, and we'd identify it as it was sub just because that guy was unique. I don't know that Pert can be that guy, though, part of this conversation. That's why I'm curious what he's going to play at the next level.
He made some plays on the –
No, he did at the end of the season for sure. No, it's not that he can't make plays. I just don't know where he's going to live in the NFL. Could he be a will linebacker in the NFL, right? I mean, there's a lot of run fits you have to make as a will linebacker.
Yeah. I don't know if he's – I really don't know if he's got the ass to do it or not.
Yep.
We'll see.
I haven't heard that term.
What?
I don't know if he's got the ass to do it. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to take on those blocks.
Metaphorical ass.
Yeah. That's coach speak.
Coach speak right there.
Speaking
That's
of
you're coaching now.
Coach speak, we've got the best coach joining us when we come back. LSU head basketball coach Kim Mulkey right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to PelicanRoof.com, the website for, you guessed it, Pelican Roofing. And the thing we love about Pelican Roofing is they tell you exactly who they are on the homepage. They are 5 stars all across the board. They've got every review. They've got testimonials of people that have worked with them. They don't try to hide anything because they don't have to, because they are the best. So go to the website. And remember also, in Lafayette, in Baton Rouge, locations in both, offices in both. They are here to service you. So they're always doing big things in the community. They're always going to be the best option for your new roof or roof repair. Go to PelicanRoof.com.
That's right. A roofing company with the Louisiana roots right there. Offices Lafayette, Baton Rouge. A dedicated project manager to your job the entire time. He will be there every single day to make sure the job is done right and done on time. And if you want to go check them out, go see their 5-star reviews on their homepage right now. See what they can do. Give them a call if you got that project happening with your roof. PelicanRoof.com.
Say my name, say my name. If no one is around you, say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name. You acting kind of shady, ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change?
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Say, baby, I love you. If you ain't running game, say my name. You acting kind of shady, ain't calling me baby. Better say my name. The other day, I would call, you would say, baby, how's your day? But today, it ain't the same. Every other word is yeah, okay.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio. I say it every week, and Coach, I know you called me out last week, but it's true. Our favorite interview every single week, the head basketball coach for your LSU Fighting Tigers, Coach Kim Mulkey, joins us now. Coach, how you doing this week?
I'm doing great. I'm out walking, so if I get disconnected, blame it on the phone system.
Absolutely, Coach, and so excited to have you back on the show. A couple of big victories there since the last time we talked to you, but you know, Coach, and I know you don't worry about stuff like this, but you were, playing against Duke in Cameron. It was a great game. Watched the entire thing, but a lot of people wanted to point out when Duke was up 14-1. I saw a lot of score graphics across the country, and you know what, Coach? I didn't see an updated score line after the game was finished.
Well, listen, it's fun. I mean, we're being talked about. That's the fun part. When we got down 14-1, 17-3, one of those moments I called a timeout, and we had a little come to Jesus in the huddle. And what's really interesting, if you've never gone to Cameron Indoor, fans are on top of you. So I'm not just in a huddle right there with my team and coaches. Literally, all those LSU fans can hear everything you say. They're on top of each other.
Right.
I think it's a great environment. You've seen it through the years with Coach K's teams. But I would sure have a hard time being a season ticket holder and sitting in those seats because you can't really get crazy because you're on top of people.
Right.
But I'm sure, people are going to criticize the non-conference schedule and go, see, they're playing a decent team. And then I got criticized at the end because I stalled it. I needed to go score 100. And I'm like, are you guys ridiculous or what?
Oh,
there's no way.
Coach, that was the other thing. It's like the other headline after the game, it wasn't the fact that you end up winning by double digits. You go into Cameron, you win the game. And again, you kind of pulled away certainly there at the end. It wasn't a close game at the end. And you scored over 90 points. But the headline was, LSU, fails to score 100 points. Like, to me, like,
well, they didn't watch the game then, Hester, because certainly we could have. I
Right.
went to what we call red, use up the shot clock with about, I'd say it was 2:30, 2:58, I don't know. Working on things for when we get to the SEC, and it's a tight game, and we need to milk the clock a little bit. I'm not thinking to score 100 now. Everybody else does, and I'm sure the players even did. But they, that's typical social media. That's typical people who don't watch the game from start to finish. Look, we've got a very good basketball team. We're not a great team. We're exciting. We play with a lot of flair, but if you're going to win championships, we got to get better defensively. We gamble too much on basketball defensively, and it's going to take some time.
Well, because you talk about that. You talk about the things that I think the great coaches and the great teams out there, they expect a lot. Even in victory, they expect a lot, and they're able to not focus on the outcome of the game, but the outcome of how you got to the result. And I think that you've always done a really great job of that, and it's fun to watch, and that's why you've done it at such a high level for such a long time. But like at this point, you talked about the schedule, and then of course you have the great win against Duke last week. Have you learned what you need to learn? Are you is there a goal you set by Christmas or by any time? I need to know this about my team. Are you to that point? Do you know everything that you need to know about this team and how to get them to where you all want to go?
What you usually have to happen this time of year is pick out your rotation of 8 or 9 players. Can't do that with this team. I have that much confidence in about all of them, and so if I have to play them all, I just play them all. But that's different for me because we do have a lot of depth. We have a lot of new depth, a lot of young depth. So that's been interesting for me. I just know what we see in the film room. Defensively, we're a work in progress, and some of that you can't fix overnight. It's just playing together. It's really buying into it. The effort's there. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the understanding of when we get beat off the dribble one-on-one, and we're going to. The game is so good. You got to have 5 people on that court guarding the basketball, and sometimes we ball watch. Sometimes we have no clue about help side. We got our man, though, Coach. Just things like that.
And will it be matchups based off who the opponent is, too, when you do have, Coach, a roster that you said, you feel confident in playing almost everybody on your roster? Will it be matchup-based as well once you get into conference play?
One of the biggest things, and I tell Coach Bob Starkey this, who's a legend himself, Bob is in charge of defense and matchups. And in our conversations, many times before we give a scout report, make sure you have the right matchups. Make sure Flage's guarding who she needs to guard. Make sure Michaela. And I think coaches just go, okay, by position. You're guarding a point guard because you're a point guard. You're guarding. No, we don't do it like that. So we really study what our kids are capable of doing defensively and who needs to be guarding people on the opposing team.
All right, Coach, you got a big one coming up here this weekend. Of course, it's your team is going to be playing your alma mater. So what is this game? I know you've played them plenty of times, but what does this game mean to you still?
Well, the first thing it means to me is that we're playing another Louisiana team, which I made a commitment to when I took this job. I wanted to try to play everybody in the state and help their budgets. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but we're working really hard at living up to what I said at my press conference when I took the job. Improve women's basketball in the state, help some of them's budgets. Some of them guys don't even have NIL money. So we're doing that. That's the first thing that comes to mind is playing another in-state school. Certainly the emotion of that being my alma mater doesn't go unnoticed in my heart and in my head, but at the same time, I don't care if you're my child, my brother, or my sister, I'm on that court to beat you.
Oh, Coach, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Coach, I mean, how many times have you faced off against the Lady Texters as a head coach?
Wow. Not a lot, believe it.
Right.
We played them at Baylor one year, maybe a couple times. But one thing I will never do, I will never go back to the Assembly Center in Ruston and play. it's just you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a program for 19 years, 4 as a player, 15 as a coach. I don't feel good walking in there in that arena and competing like I compete. I don't mind doing it on a neutral court.
Right.
I don't mind doing it in the PMAC. But there's something about walking into that arena that just floods of memories come back from my days of playing. Dr. F.J. Taylor, who started the program, my coaches. I don't see any need for me to go back there and think of those things. I get it. Most people want to go back. Coaches, oh, yeah, be welcome back, standing ovation, get a dozen rows. That doesn't do anything for me. I don't care about all that.
Oh, man. Coach, I'd be like really remiss. And we've really enjoyed watching your team. We can't wait to see what they continue to do this season. But I'd be remiss to ask you, like in the world of college football right now, you got teams, high-profile teams that are deciding not to play in bowl games, and they're kind of saying it's a meaningless game and exhibition, blah blah blah. What are your thoughts on the changing landscape of the bowl games in college football? I don't know if you follow it too much, but if you got a team that is declining an invitation to play just because they think it's a meaningless type game.
Well, I think we all agree, and yes, I keep up with it. I keep up with 3 sports mainly in detail: football, basketball, and baseball. It's the system in all areas is broken. Let's start with the hiring of coaches in the middle of a season. Fix it. Get the calendar fixed. Let's go to NIL and the agents and money and all that stuff. You can't put worms back in a can, so I don't know that you can fix any of that. But let's go to the playoff system. How do you, as an administrator, president, athletic director, allow your team not to play if it's something that brings in money? Now, I've been reading a couple of these schools, particularly in the Big 12, have new coaches. I think it was K-State and was it Iowa State, and they chose not to go.
Right.
And they got fined $500,000.
Yep.
Well, get an interim coach. That's what LSU's doing.
Right.
Frank is coaching, in the bowl game, even though we've hired a coach. I don't know the answer. Maybe you guys have a better answer, but it's messed up the whole landscape of bowls. Because then you go and you start inviting people with losing records, and some of those are turning down bowl invitations. I don't know, but I know those of us who love college football, how about sitting at a table and let's figure it out? Money and finding people doesn't seem to bother anybody. It's kind of like the rule they put in when you crowd runs on the field, right? Oh, let's up that ante. That didn't stop anybody.
No. No, it didn't. And the thing that, to me is so surprising is you have like the top coaches in the sport and Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning, whoever it is, that want to fix it. They want to change the calendar. Like you hear them talk about it. And Coach, I think about, your sport, and if y'all's calendar was as messed up as college football's, like you and Gino and Don, like y'all would get together and y'all would find a way like, hey, we got to fix this. And we're not leaving the room until we fix this. And you and I both go to spring meetings down in Destin every single year, and y'all have meetings all day long. Like y'all would get in a meeting like that, not just in the conference level, but in the totality of the NCAA. And I just feel like y'all was like, hey, we're not leaving this room until we fix this calendar.
And listen, we do those things in the meetings that we have as coaches. But here's the chain of command where it all gets lost. It goes from coaches, then it goes to SWA, senior women's administrators, and then it goes to the athletic directors, and then it goes to the president. And from the presidents, then it goes to the conference commissioners. And from the conference commissioners, then it goes to, like for us, it would be the WBCA, the Women's Basketball Coaches Association. And then they have to present it to the NCAA. There's so many levels where things get lost.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, think about this, guys. Is the NCAA really in control of collegiate athletics anymore?
Nah.
Is it really? I mean, we're paying players. We're skipping bowl games. We have agents now. I mean, really, what is their role? To tell somebody, oh, don't make too many phone calls this month or you'll get turned in?
Right. No, you're right about that. I mean, Coach, the first meeting we used to have every single year, like during training camp, was about how bad agents were. Don't look at an agent. Don't talk to an agent. And now you have high school players that have agents. And during signing day, it's like, well, the representation's like doesn't want them to sign today. I'm like, wait a minute, high school players have agents? They're like, yeah. They passed that a long time ago. So, like, right now, you're right. Like, what do they do, like, right now to try to have change, to try to fix some of the things that coaches are upset about?
I don't think the NCAA has the authority that it used to have. Do you realize that each state has a different set of rules on NIL? Did you know in the state of Louisiana that high school kids can get NIL? But if you go to Texas or you go somewhere else, you know, remember the kid at Texas, Ewers, he left and played high school ball in Ohio and got $1 million or so and then comes back to Texas to play at the University of Texas. How do you fix stuff like that? I don't have the answer. I feel like everybody else does, that it's still out of control in so many areas. The day, I'll never forget this. Was it last year or 2 years ago? My recruiting coaches said, so-and-so's agent wants to talk to you. I said, I'm not talking to an agent. I've never spoken to an agent in my life.
Right.
The agent calls anyway.
Wow.
And when how much it would cost to even get in the door with a kid, I said, good luck. I said, if she can get that, man, she needs to take it and run.
Right.
Really? I'm like, I don't want to ever have those conversations. I don't care about all that. Now, I'm also for kids making what they can in college, but I don't like the fact that, you know, they kind of, I don't want to use the word threaten you, but try to put a dollar value on a kid for you to even get in the door for a kid. That's just absurd to me. But now you guys have dealt with it for years because you're in football where there's the cash cow. You know, we all benefit when football does good. And it's the one that carries all of us in the athletic department. But it's a new ball game for those of us who've never dealt with it.
Yeah, no question about it. Hey, Coach, you're the best. We truly appreciate the time every single week. Enjoy the rest of your walk, and good luck coming up here against Louisiana Tech.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, you as well. LSU head basketball coach Kim Mulkey, good enough to join us every single Wednesday here, and we look forward to it every single week. Real quick, want to tell you about our friends before we get out of here in this break. Boudreaux's Electrical, boudreauxelectrical.com is the website. Whole home generator. Make sure that you're ready for the holiday season, and you can check out all the information. You can get the ultimate peace of mind. We say it every single day. It is more power. It is more protection. It doesn't matter what the weather is. I can tell you ever since I got the whole home generator, when the weather's bad outside, I'm not worried about going into the garage and getting the small little generator and making sure that we have gas. I know that immediately it is going to kick on, and boudreauxelectrical.com is going to get you there as well. boudreauxelectrical.com. All right, we'll take a break. Wrap up hour number 2 when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench. Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Say what? Here we go. Can y'all really feel me? Baby girl. East Coast, feel me. West Coast, feel me. Can you feel us? Dirty South. Dirty. Can y'all really feel me? Feel it. East Coast, feel me. Say what? West Coast, feel me. Dirty South. Dirty. Can y'all really feel me? I got pick it. East Coast, feel me. West Coast, feel me.
Boy, I've been watching you like the hawk in
All right, welcome back in, OTB. I'm not even going to apologize. When we have Coach Mulkey on, it's 8:30 every week, and we're going to go for 20 minutes.
Sorry.
So it kind of is what it is. It's my favorite interview of the week. There's no secrets with Coach. There's no hiding behind anything, and I absolutely love it. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and like I really enjoyed hearing her. I love hearing her when she gets passionate about like big topics. Like I feel like she gets even more passionate talking about like the football landscape than she does the basketball stuff. Probably because she answers those questions a lot. But like when you have people of Kim Mulkey's stature in college football and in the NCAA, like questioning like what the hell's going on and like what does the NCAA actually do? Yeah, it's really interesting to hear. Yeah. Like I wish we had more people like her. Yeah, in football. Yeah, I really do. Like at the administration level, the coaching level. Like
here's what needs to happen. Here's what we're going to get done.
And people are going to listen because she carries weight and she's intimidating to talk to, right? Yeah. Like like she says something, you're like, yes, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I love it every single week. All right, hour number 3 coming back your way here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, go to KTZBlinds.com, KTOZBlinds.com. KTZ Interiors and Outdoor Living, been in the game since 2004. That was a very long time ago. How do I know? I was a freshman in college in 2004. You don't stay in the game that long unless you're doing everything the right way, the best way, and that's what you get over at K2Z. So go to their website, check out what they can do for you, check out their service area. I think you'll be blown away with the service area that they cover. Chances are, if you're listening to us in the state of Louisiana, they can help you out. All the contact information in the 225, the 337, the 985, top right corner of the website, KTOZBlinds.com.
That's right, K2Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. Go to their website, KTOZBlinds.com, because you can really learn everything that they do, like interiors and outdoor living. What does that really mean? But there's a video right here of Brandon Barton, the owner, like talking to you about how they can turn your home into the ideal living space, whether it's inside, whether it's outside. Go check them out, KTOZBlinds.com.